Attention, good people of Eugene and Twitter followers. Y'all know I don't ask for anything for myself ever when I have a deserving person who needs your help here in the community. This client has serious health problems and they're mobile and able to drive, and they have to go do all sorts of doctor's appointments and stuff all the time. I have limped this zombie along for quite some time for them. It's getting to the point I've got the fear. This engine is bad inside, and everything on the outside of it's bad, and the brake system is giving up, and we don't have air conditioning in the car to begin with, and I'm going to crank this and let y'all hear it. Okay? And it will start. I've done my very best. Y'all hear that? So, long story short, when this car breaks down on the highway between Eugene and where this person has to go, I'm afraid that if it's 100 degrees, that'll be a death sentence to them, that they will not survive the heat. If you have a car in Eugene, Oregon that you would like to get rid of, that is for sale for a low price or anything like that, please let me know. Let me put this person in something better that won't kill them. This has reached that stage. All right, folks, help me out. Hey, Twitter fans, it's Wildman Willie up here at Key for Kia, and we just took a look at what would be a beautiful Buick Rainier. We got like 130,000 miles on this one, and mechanically and visually, it's straight enough for what I need it to do. Unfortunately, when I got up here, the air conditioning doesn't work in the car, and they said it did when I spoke to them on the phone. And then I talked to the sales manager. They want $4,000 for a car with 90 psi oil pressure shown on the dash and no cold AC. Furthermore, they refuse to negotiate by even a penny. So maybe they will change their tune. Maybe they'll get right with that. But what we're looking at here is a $1,500 car, no question. Key for Kia. Made me kind of sad. I offered you the social media towards you. Well, we'll see what y'all come back if y'all get right with Jesus. Folks, car sales has changed since I've been in business. I'm up here at Shepherd Motors and I'm sitting in a desk at the showroom. I don't know how I made it through the front door without being upped. I've been here for a few minutes. We'll just sit here and drink this coffee and see how long it takes for a salesperson to come say hello to me. Wish me luck. All right, I'm up here at Shepherd Hyundai Volvo, and I have a much better feeling about this dealership. I did have a conversation with the used manager and explained the situation and what we're dealing with, and they have agreed to keep an eye out this weekend for what comes across the plate that may be the perfect vehicle for me. So that's all I needed for somebody to do was help me achieve the goal. And I will say that the gentleman I just spoke to seemed very much more on the same page as to, well, helping me achieve that goal. They understand the need in the community and they'd like to make it happen. So right off the bat, if you're looking for a better buying experience here in Eugene, swing on over to Shepherd. Sure do feel better about that. Different energy in the air, a better place to do business right off the nickel. Thank you for watching. All right, folks, it's the moment you've been waiting for. Welcome to the Save Your Car. We're going to make that lady very happy with this. What we have here is a 1997 Buick Skylark with ice cold air conditioning, one owner, and only 68,000 miles on the clock. A lot of things are old on it. It's going to need some attention from me, but it had no blow-by. It doesn't act stupid when I give it gas. There's no check engine lights. It didn't develop any codes, and the air conditioning blows cold. Security key issue, a few little issues. I can start it right up and drive it. Inside the car, needs a little love. I just pulled some homemade window tint off of it, so there's a big spat of that. See, there's that security key issue. It beeps at us. It thinks that the key's always in it or something. Common to have dash issues with these. As long as it starts right up, no problem. And again, you see this mileage is extremely low. So we're about to go donate this to the client who deserves it. It's an oldie but goodie. It's a dinosaur, but this is going to be a game changer. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you. Let's go give it to them. Had to go rescue it. I had a key situation problem. They locked themselves out of it. No problem. Runs and drives great. On to the next thing. We're already behind. Looks like all the bulbs are here for the Skylark. And if we've been calling the Park Avenue the Enterprise, I'm going to start calling this green thing the Bird of Prey. Everything is Crystal Vision Plus, super bright. So this thing is going to be twinkly when I get done with this. All the bulbs in it, we only have one or two that don't work, but I'm sure they're all tired and faded. This should bring back the light to the situation. This is not the brightest bulb I can get, but it does have one of the warmest color temperatures. It is brighter than stock, and it's definitely an upgrade in every way. So this should be good. Tag lights, backup lights, reverse lights, turn signal lights. As you'll notice, this thing uses a weird combination of different flavors of bulb. We'll see what's incorrect in this whole thing. But here they all are. All the money worth of light bulbs. We'll put them in someday soon. A big thank you to everyone who donated to help make this top quality tune-up possible. Thank you for your support. Without you, we can't get it done. What we have here is a nice tune-up for the 1997 Skylark. To start with, Oregon grade Anco contour wiper blades. The best available. Why not? They're not expensive to order, and you need them in Oregon. Up next on the list, United Packard Premium Awesome Sauce spark plug wires, and the markings match what they put on it at the factory. Imagine that. United coil packs with the brass terminals. These are the good stuff. Motorrad coolant overflow reservoir cap. Needs one of those. It's original. New thermostat. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Thermostat's going to wait a minute. I'm going to do the intake manifold gasket set on the car. It does have murky coolant. That's 99% chance the reason why. If I take care of it now, it's just not a problem forever. Got a Gates water pump to go with that too. Got a Bando drive belt. AC Delco original equipment, double platinum spark plugs. That's what it left the factory with. What's been running in it for 68,000 miles. It's never had a reason to change them yet. Oil filter, AC Delco. Auto Technica, idler pulley, or I guess this is the tensioner pulley. These have good Japanese bearings in them a lot of the time. Gates bypass hose, PCV valve. Got ourselves a male fuel filter. Wonder where that was made. China this time. Got ourselves a male European market air filter. You know, just the thing for your, what did it say here? For your Opel Vauxhall or your Buick. Made in Austria. That ought to be good enough for it. Looks like it was only made 3 years ago too. I'm not sad about that. Not all dry rotted in the package. So there's the big kit for step one. That'll make it happier. Thank you, everybody. Hey folks, Wildman Willie here, and I'm standing in front of one I wish I wouldn't this morning. It's not so bad. The car popped a battery light and went dead on her, pulling into this parking lot. Thankfully, okay, we got to the landing zone. Battery is discharged. I'm guessing we have an alternator or a battery problem here. As I hook it up to my car to jump it off, it responds differently than it does now. So if voltage isn't being pushed back into the battery, and either this is ancient, which I'm trying to read that date code. I think that was put in April of 22, but it could be 12 or 02. That's the part I don't know, as old as this car is. Alternator has not been done before. Why should it have been? I'm hopeful if that's what's up, that the alternator I got on the Toronado will fit it, or the one that's on the S15. Same deal with my battery. I need to use parts I have to put this up and running at the moment. Not that we won't get what we need, but I might be doing some Buick Frankenstein today. Thankfully I have some parts to do that with, so right now we're just chilling out, keeping the customer cool in my air conditioning until a tow truck arrives to get this to my place. All right, well, this definitely isn't natural for a Buick, but it'll be all right. Got to drag it by the control arms, unfortunately. I don't love that, but it'll just have to be okay. And I believe it will. It's not that heavy of a car. Got to do what we got to do anyhow. Coming up safe, doing great. It's loaded just fine. Alright, we're going to get this thing off the ground and over to my house to begin working on it. It's eaten the whole day. I've had to reschedule everything else, so I might as well just get started as soon as we get it there. I was going to run do the other things, but that's just not how it works today. So, car up on the truck. We'll get it to safety. Be home shortly. Here she comes, Miss America. We'll put her right in this slot over here. This man knows what he's doing right. He's quick. Beautiful, beautiful. Man showing us how it ought to be done. It's got the feel for the controls. Perfect, perfect. Perfect. Man who knows his trade. Perfect right there. I appreciate you. Folks, looks like it's the alternator. I managed to get the car jumped off with my truck. That took a minute. It didn't like that much, but got that jumped off. And it runs all right until you disconnect the jumper cable, and then she goes flat on her ass. That tells me that alternator isn't charging up the battery. Also, telltale battery light is on with battery connected and car running. Alternator all day. That's kind of thankful. I mean, I'm sure that battery's not in great shape, but that's a $200 battery for this car, folks. So I'm kind of thankful about that. Alternator itself is exceedingly easy to get out. Would you believe I have to go buy a belt wrench for this as my wrench? I do not have anything small enough to get between that gap to get it out. But we'll go grab an alternator if one is cheap. Hopefully it will be. I can order one for like $40, but we can't wait weeks for it to arrive. So let me go in and see what my battle plan is. It's going down, and I got started on the Skylark, and boy am I happy. First, look how nasty this old valve cover is. Despite the fact it don't look like it's ever leaked down, that's just crusty nasty on it. So we'll get an idea what that looks like with the engine paint in just a moment. But behold, folks, look how clean this thing is inside. Oh, wow. Yes, sir. Ladies, gentlemen, gentle folks of all persuasions and kinds. That looks like GM just put it together like 30 minutes ago. So, this ought to go pretty good, knock on wood. But, wow, we do in fact have a solid engine. The proof's in the pudding. Ain't nothing screwed up about this one deep inside. Yay. Good deal. A little taste of things to come here. I don't know how well this color is popping in this light, or maybe this is the golden light, but that's my close approximation of Buick nailhead turquoise. It looks pretty damn interesting, and when the intake and the back one looks like that, that's going to be pretty cool. So, very different than what I normally do with engine accents, but there's a historical precedent for something like this color on a Buick 6-cylinder engine. And yeah, I'd want it to look like it's special. If anybody ever opens the hood, I want them to know it's not just a regular car. So here we are. I think we're achieving that. Folks, it's been a long one and y'all hadn't heard a hell of a lot from me. I've been a busy man. Lower intake manifold is out. Note that I need an engine hoist to secure this to get the power steering pump off. That was a lot of fun. But check it out. Intake is out, and look at there. We did, in fact, have, if it wasn't blowing it out yet, it was about to. There's the end of that intake manifold gasket. Same way on this corner, same way over here, same way over here. So, all this was not without damn good cause. That was ready to take this investment of all of you guys and screw it up real good. At least eventually. It wasn't going to be right until that was done. So, hoist. Massive 60-degree intake manifold. It's a big boy. Oh, be careful, nice to it. Although, it's all in very good shape. I mean, look at the minimal amount of staining and sludge on the inside of this guy. So I'm going to hit that with the brake clean and get this painted. And that's the end of my night, is this thing right here. It's getting this looking right. That's all I intend to do for the rest of the evening. I'm not pulling those push rods tonight. I should be able to reassemble this whole thing tomorrow and put her in great shape. That's the plan. Going to get started early. Well, I spent the last 2 days disassembling a nasty car, but I'm going to spend tomorrow assembling a beautiful car. Well, that's some bright aluminum spray paint right there. Well, I, didn't know it was going to be chrome, but hell, let's go for it. It can be like that with aluminum sometimes. That is Exo Rust tractor paint, and they're just aluminum color, and it is bright, which is going to give me excellent contrast against the other engine accents. This puppy is going to be beautiful upon reassembly. So, we proved that it was necessary to do it, and just like my goal stated, that was what I wanted to have done, and I got like that much sun left in the sky. But there it is. Now it's going to take me a minute to clean up things in the sky as such. But what a day, folks. Sure does look better, don't it? Woo! Ready to go in there and relax here in a second. That's what I can tell you. Gasket is in place. Push rods are back in, but not sequenced yet. I got to go through all that. Distributor delete, O-ring seal fixed. So no more nuisance leak there. I need to clean up a little bit of that coolant that's spilled in the valley, but that'll come out with the oil change too. That's going to happen as soon as this is done. I'm afraid I got to go get some RTV, and it's going to take a while for that to cure. So, I don't know if she drives out tonight, but she'll be reassembled tonight. In any event, that's going pretty well so far. Let's finish up the job. And if you hadn't seen it, all them intake parts and other accessories that have been painted up are going to look pretty freaking glamorous. I'm excited for this thing to glow and shine like the briefcase from Pulp Fiction when you open the hood. Ways to go to get there, but we got time. Here we go. Much delayed, but well done, I believe. The moment of truth is here. Valves are correctly sequenced. It's really not that hard. They make that sound like a son of a bitch. Yeah, we'll talk about that more later. Got the RTV laid in. Got my gaskets set in there in place. They're in place like they're going to be. So, it's time to stick the intake on top. Wish me luck that doesn't fiddle around too much. Progress, and it's all starting to come together now. I've got the lower intake manifold properly installed. That's just there as a mock-up for y'all to get an idea of just how wild that's going to be in this mild-mannered car. But yeah, got that on. I did my 6 or 7 stage torque sequence to get that down. I'm real happy with how that turned out. Some of that paint could be drier. It's got a few fingerprints in it, but you know what? I tried. It looks pretty. And it ain't just spray paint over all the bolt heads either, so you can tell that, I did not screw around. That new metal gasket in there is going to make things way better, so I'm real happy about that. I want to take a moment to regroup. Up next is get the fuel rail cleaned up, get the injector O-rings installed, pop the injectors back onto the limb. Then we can start thinking about bolting on all this other crap. Now, do I think I'm going to have a running car tonight? Probably not. A fully assembled one, yes. I want to give that RTV plenty of time to cure. It says 90 minutes, but you know, the longer the merrier. It's going to take me that long to assemble all this shit if I don't get in a hurry anyway. And getting in a hurry at this point is just going to cause problems. So we're not going to do that to ourselves. Take it easy, work our way through. I'll probably take her to her doctor's appointment tomorrow just to make sure that happens easy. But one more day of button up and test and tune and fight whatever little crap went wrong, which there's always a little bit, you know, will be necessary on this one before I just turn it loose. But I hope y'all are happy with the quality of my work. I hope you're happy with the results of your investments and your donations. This is what we're going to hand over to them. Transportation for life. That's one Gates high-performance water pump installed, torque to specs, Willie Jenkins style, Jenkins performance. And hey, thank you everybody for your donations. I appreciate it. That's another part this car needed sorely, and why not go with the best? Got the power steering pump back bolted on. So now I can put the bracket back on it and get this thing off the engine hoist. That's kind of my next goal, is to get the belt drive together and get this thing off the engine hoist and back onto its own motor mount. And I can close the hood for tonight, and I'll feel like that's a legitimate stopping place if I can get that far. So, I think I can. We got about 30 minutes left of daylight. About 6 or 7 bolts to do that. So, let's continue. Sometimes it feels a bit like the never-ending story, but almost, folks. It's beginning to look like an engine again. Or a dressed one, at least. Yeah. It's pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. That puts a big shit-eating grin on my face to look at what that's come out to be. But the proof will be in the pudding sometime later before the sun goes down, I fucking hope. It gets done when it gets done, though. There's no rushing this shit at this point. Woo! Just the smallest box of bolts left to go, and I think I know where all 3 of the big ones go. Here's what this is looking like. Lord have mercy. What's left to do is to sort the belt drive, which means put the hoist back on it and remove that engine bracket and sort the belt. Then reinstall the motor mount, and I should be able to get the bottom bolt into the bracket. That was giving me a hard time. The other long one goes in that back hole, and then there's one more that goes through. If I can get it in there, if it fights me, then we're going to go without it. Had some of that teal corrugated split loom tubing laying around, so I decided to use that. I made a Buick. Reseal continues. After I got it all back together yesterday, as those of you who've been following know, we encountered a high pressure fuel leak, and quite a serious one, where the fuel line enters the fuel rail. So, had to order these. They had to come in from Washington this morning. All right there, folks. That's why we have a high pressure fuel leak, is them 2 guys. We'll get that on there, get this put together, put the engine back together, and hopefully that's my biggest hurdle and we can deliver this today. Seemed like the only thing I saw going wrong in the few seconds that I attempted to crank it. Anyway, that's $33 worth of O-rings right there, which are sad in itself, but whatever. Let's go get it put on the car. Let's go get this thing in service now. Congratulations, me. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. We got ourselves a happy, healthy 3100 looking pretty here. Ain't nothing too wrong with that, folks. No check engine lights, power restored. I bet that fuel leak that had been around fixed things. Alternator making a little bit of noise. It's busy charging up that old flat battery. And power steering pump make a little bit of noise on me. I'm still watching the coolant gauge and burping the system, making sure that's all good. I'm probably going to shut it down here in a second, let it sit, and then restart it and bring it back up to temperature. But as of right now, I got coolant gauge sitting right where it should. 68,999 miles. I got no check engine lights. I got a theft light that'll never go away. But, oh my God, it's been quite the marathon. I'm so ready to be done with that, it's silly. It's time for it to go. Let me call the client and see if I'm bringing it to them or if they're coming to pick up. Took the Skylark for a little bit of a more extended test drive to go pick up a pizza. Everything's running great, nice and quiet, air conditioning blowing cold. So enjoying life at the moment. Makes it back to the house like this, then we're golden, and I see no reason why not at this time. Feels great. Doing a final check of my upgraded illumination package. As you can see, we managed to get the tail lamp assembly straightened out and popped in the way they were supposed to be, and everything's working good and bright on that. And you hit the brakes and it gets even brighter. We got one kind of screwy socket on the far outside left hand, but it'll be all right. It's working okay. Back the deck one, I won't have a way to prove that to you, but it's extra bright as well. Up front, same treatment. We gave her some ultra bright headlamps, ultra bright turn signals, ultra bright markers all the way around it. So that's nice and bright. That's the low beams on the car. Let's see what the high beams are like. Yeah, I'd say they can see out of that. That's as bright as we can get with this car. Turn signal check. Let's turn these down to just parking lights. Turn signal. Oh, yep. Got the wigwag going on that correctly. And on the back, it's illuminating correctly. See if we got the wigwag going on this one, right? We do. They can tell you're turning in this car. Welcome to Buick Safety. Got that one working as well. I'll just have to look behind me to see how the brake lights are doing, but everything's good here. Nice and bright. Looking forward to having the car back tomorrow in the morning. It's the moment I've been waiting for. I just got through the car wash and I'm on my way to go deliver this beast for a second time. So it's all cleaned up as good as I can get it. Our venti port survived the car wash. Air conditioning blowing cold. Car running good. Charging. No problems here so far. Let's get it across town to where she is and do the big reveal.